I'm determined to master it. But that means I first have to retire, I think. Whoa, it's kicking in. You turning red? Am I turning red?
No, you're not. You're taking it pretty well.
Whoa. There were 2 students who wanted to do it, and then they dared me to go.
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'll go with you. And when we saw it, we thought we'd go to the restaurant and rethink this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Hot Takes. My name is Susana Fraga, and I will be your host for today. Along with me is ERC's Provost, Ivan Evans. Hi, Ivan. How are you doing? Do you feel prepared for today's challenge?
I hope so. I believe I am.
Okay. So right here we have 10 wings and 10 different hot sauces. So do you want to dig in?
All right, let's see.
First one is this.
All right, mild.
Mm-hmm. What about ERC's philosophy drew you to become its provost?
ERC's philosophy is so much my own biography, focus on international issues, a respect across boundaries, an insistence that all individuals and all communities deserve dignity. I think those basic components is what I took out from my own personal struggle against apartheid. I was raised in the heat and in the peak of the anti-apartheid struggle, where it was, as you know, a daily struggle for black people, for their dignity and for their rights, for their humanity. So this was something that is formative of me. It shapes everything about me. And I think that the demands that I made for myself are demands that I would make for people all over the world. And ERC, that is, I think, the heart of ERC. ERC is committed to international peace in a global space, and that presupposes the assumption that people have the right to live lives of security and safety, and those conditions don't exist, and people therefore struggle for those conditions, and ERC endorses their right to have those struggles, to have those that degree of peace in their lives. So that's what attracts me to ERC. It really does echo my own biography.
Now that you've answered the first question and ate the first wing, do you feel prepared for the second one?
All right, fire away.
Okay. So, what is your favorite memory from your college years?
This one is easy. Like I said, I was raised in the anti-apartheid struggle, and my university was an absolute hothead of revolution and destruction and opposition to state and government authorities of all kind. And I belong to that semi-underground, radical part of the student body. And my favorite memory is our decision not to burn down a residence in opposition. We had bought the kerosene, and it was a 3-story building, and so we hadn't thought about who was going to climb up onto the roof and pour kerosene on the roof to burn it down, because we viewed it as an extension of the apartheid government and state that was enforcing our civility, denying us our rights. And so we saw it as a part of the South African apartheid government, and we therefore tried to burn it down. But we got cold feet at the last minute and decided not to do so. So, my favorite memory.
Okay. Very well. What about our third one?
Voilà. Whoa, it's got a kick.
Okay.
But I like it.
No, it's a good one.
Yeah.
You can feel the lemon. It's very good. What is something about you that people wouldn't expect?
It's an interesting question, because I feel like I'm an open book, and so nothing about me ought to be surprising. But you know, I love zombie movies.
Really?
Apocalypse and zombie movies. I've rewatched The Walking Dead 2 or 3 times the entire series. I recently had surgery on my knee. I had nothing to do but lie down. Wasn't supposed to move, and so I watched it from for the 3rd time. Why do you like that? So I don't know. I just do. Maybe it's because I'm a sociologist, and it's always about the destruction of society and then the reinvention of society, how to put societies together after they've collapsed. So as a sociologist, I do find it interesting how a consensus and conflict is negotiated and how stability is achieved very often in very difficult ways. So the sociologist in me is always looking for the difficult parts of creating a society. And that's what I like about zombie movies.
How do you think you would survive a zombie apocalypse?
You know, I think I would regard myself as fortunate if I was on the coast, because I think I would get on a boat, stock it with water and food, and just get away, and go away and look for an island. I think that would be the best way to survive it. Otherwise, I don't think I would be able to survive.
No? You wouldn't be able to run and fight the zombies?
Hey, I've had a knee joint replacement surgery, so I can't run very fast. Oh. So I think flight on a boat is my best option.
Okay. Now our 4th wing.
Sweet.
Yeah, it has chocolate.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh. All right. Not hot, though.
No. You teach MMW 115 and Sociology 188, which takes place in Cape Town, South Africa. What do you think is something that students can benefit from by taking this class abroad?
The way I designed the course is to make it as experiential as possible. For 5 weeks, we actually do things. It's not a passive learning situation. They meet a lot of South Africans. They actually do work. We worked in agricultural fields. We visited elementary schools. We made beehives out with using hammers and nails and wood that was given to us. They'll be hot, they'll be tired. And when they return, that's when we discuss MMW and we discuss the readings. I tried to connect the readings to the experiential part of the program. You know, Cape Town is very much like San Diego, a very glitzy city. Tourists just see a first-rate, world-class city. My program actually goes behind that, and we meet people from the community, and so they get a more rounded view of Cape Town and of South Africa. So I think it was such a rich experience to navigate the opulence of Cape Town and the really striking poverty of the rural areas is very bracing. It forces you to think about inequality, about the hierarchies within society, between countries. And so that's what students take away, is a sense of, wow, we knew about this theoretically, but to actually encounter it and to meet those people, it was very touching, very often, to see how students were affected by the welcoming embrace that they received from local communities. That's what it means to be a world citizen. It sort of reconfigures yourself, I think. So that's what I hope my students will get from my global seminars.
So it's like a wake-up call.
I think so.
As long as like a hands-on with the community, bonding time.
Absolutely.
Not just this is us and that's them.
Absolutely, a sense of engagement.
We are down to our 5th one. We're halfway through.
All right.
Okay. You were saying that this is what you mean, this is what you think being a global citizen means, but can you maybe tell us a little bit more of like deeply what it means to you?
What it means to me is, I think 2 things that come together. First of all, to be a world citizen is to know. You need knowledge. You need to be inquisitive. So you need sort of bookish, to some extent, intellectual knowledge about differences around the world. But to be a world citizen is to go way beyond just knowing. It's about engaging with those differences, meeting people from different circumstances, from different places, from different spaces, even in your own society. So to me, to be a world citizen requires that you that you have knowledge about the world, that you know about the world, but it also requires you to be actively engaged in that world. So to be a world citizen requires a certain amount of openness as well, a willingness even to let go of your own stereotypes, your own assumptions, or at least to question them, to open up to possibilities from other parts of the world.
Okay. Very complete response. Okay. Number 6.
Yep. It's upping the ante. Lordy, which one is that?
Number 6, this is the spicy shark.
That it is.
Okay, so what is something, sorry. What is something that you're currently learning, like a skill or an ability that you can tell us about?
God, photography.
Oh, really?
Yeah, photography. I love photography. I don't know why though. I've not yet mastered the control over light, how to control light. Natural light is less of a challenge for me. I can play with it. I can produce the effects that I want. But the more technical parts about using strobe lights and studio lights is for me, I find very, very difficult. When I have the time, I'm determined to master it. But that means I first have to retire, I think. Whoa, it's kicking in.
Yeah.
You turning red? Am I turning red?
No, you're not. You're taking it pretty well.
Whoa.
Is there a particular type of photography that you like? Do you like portraits, landscapes, architecture?
I like the kind of photography that I realize, emphasizes contrast and shading, which is, I think, why I like black and white photography so much. I turn many of my pictures into black and white pictures, and it's so easy these days just to turn off the colors. I love the contrast. I love how shades begin as on one spectrum and end up at another. And whether this is in architecture or in landscapes or in portraits, it does not really matter. I like that balance of light, whether it's the contrast or whether it's a sort of a balance between the shades. That's what I always strive for in my photography.
Okay, maybe one day you'll show us.
I will indeed. Phew. After this.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Well, this is all right.
Okay, so on to wing number 7. This is like a nice step down.
It is a step down, right? Mm-hmm. The previous one was a humdinger. Am I sweating?
No, you're handling it pretty well. You're leaving me to shame. So what do you think is the importance of MMW, and what do you think is something that students can really take away from this class?
What MMW does is to say you need to know about the past. And so MMW sort of is the history of the evolution of modern society. So beginning from roughly after 1000 BC, we see how different communities, factions, dynamics coalesce in different ways in different parts of the world, and to produce the complex, variegated world in which we live today. So I think that MMW provides a way to understand the present, where it's coming from. And you can't be an engaged citizen if you don't understand the society in which you're engaging. And to understand that society, you require to know about the past, and that's what MMW does. And I think, therefore, that MMW is essential to learning, regardless of your occupation, regardless of your major, to understand how your discipline, your major, fits into history, whether it's engineering, chemistry, oceanography, sociology, or theater and dance. MMW provides one way of understanding the development of your intellectual interests. And hopefully that leads to you becoming an engaged citizen in whatever your field is.
Let's go on to number 8.
Whoa!
I think I took the same one.
Ooh, that one's going to be punishing. Ooh!
Stop on you, huh? So out of all the knowledge you have gained throughout your years in education, what is the single most important lesson that you've learned?
To always appreciate that your perspective and what you know is always partial. There are always other ways of experiencing and portraying the things that you've gone through. And therefore you should be open to other people's perspectives. So a sense of humility, I think, is essential. I think life has purpose because we are socially engaged. So it's okay, it's great to be humble, etc. But one should always engage, connect that humility to a sense of doing, to a sense of working with and for other people. You know, we should be humble, and precisely because we want to engage with the world, because we want to make an impact. We want people to respect us, and we want to respect other people. So a sense of humility, I think, is always should be integrated with a sense of active citizenship in the world. Yeah, that's what I think I would take away.
Ready for number 9?
9, not 10? Okay.
No, we're still too short.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
We kind of cyber stalked you, and we found this photo. And we want you to tell us the story behind it.
Oh. That's a picture of me going bungee jumping off the Victoria Falls Waterfalls Bridge.
Where's this?
That's Zambia and Zimbabwe are two neighboring countries, and they are separated by the Zambezi River, and they are connected by a bridge. So the one end of the bridge is in Zambia, the other end is in Zimbabwe. Oh, he's art. And you can walk across the bridge. And we did that. We went from one country to another by walking across the bridge, which students love because you get stamps in your passports. But halfway across the bridge is this bungee jumping station. I think it cost about like $90.
That's pretty good.
I think it was 183 meters, which is quite a drop. And I decided that I was going to do it.
Were you dared, or did you generally want to do it?
There were 2 students who wanted to do it, and then they dared me to go with them. So I said, okay, I'll go with you. And when we saw it, we thought we'd go to the restaurant and rethink this. So we looked at all the people dropping down there and screeching and screaming as it went down. And when we decided we'll do it. One student dropped out. And I went with another. And then we decided we'd go together, because you can be strapped together. But unfortunately, there was a weight limit, and I was already over the limit. So we had to go individually, and I went first. And that's like 1/3 of a second into the drop. So you walk to the edge like a pirate, like they walk you to the end of the end of the bridge, and then you're supposed to jump. And then we're contemplating there, and the guy, I turned around and I looked at the guy and I said, I didn't know what to say.
You?
And he said, it's okay, just a bunny hop, he said. So I did a bunny hop, closed my eyes, and the first 3 seconds, I would say, were terrifying. You know, it's just the sense of, you don't think, it's just panic.
So we made it to the last one.
All right. Barely.
For this one, in the original show, it is customary to put an extra dab of sauce. Do you want to do it?
I'm a risk taker.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yes. It's this one. Let's see.
A dab.
You can put however much you want and then like dip it in.
Oh. Ooh.
So
it's nasty.
We have called this video segment Hot Takes. Some people have hot takes on things like whether cereal is a soup or a hot dog is a sandwich. Do you have any hot take that you can think of?
In South Africa, maybe elsewhere, but in South Africa there's a popular sauce that is served on steak. It's called monkey gland sauce. And I was always horrified by it until I learned it's got nothing to do with monkeys at all. It's just a sauce.
Is it a spicy sauce?
No, it's a very sweet sauce, actually. So that'll be my hot take.
Sounds good. Is there something that you wish students know about you or something about the office that you want them to know?
Well, yes. I've been a faculty member. You meet a lot of students all the time, but when you become a provost, you sort of remote from the students, and that is one thing that I miss tremendously in what is otherwise a great job and a great position. I do miss that contact with students, and I always invite students to come up and take me out for lunch, folks. Not too much hot sauce, but coffee with the prof, dinner with the prof, or making appointments just to meet with me, to talk with me. If you're interested in global seminars or study abroad, that's my passion. Just hit me up. I would love to meet with you. So I invite students to reach out to me anytime.
Sounds good.
Okay. Are we done?
Yes.
All right.
You did it.
I'll have the ice cream. Oh, Lordy.
Way different than mine.
That was something.
That was such a mess by the end of ours.
Oh.
God.
You did better this time around too.
Yeah, but
You held your own.
You did, but I just saw you melting like that poor thing. Just like build up, build up, build up.
You held it in.
it was terrible. The fact that I had to take like 2 bites right after the